Hello everyone, I'm Chester44 and welcome to this Let's Play of Blades of Avernum. Last episode we did another scenario by Nikki. We got one more scenario left by Nikki, and it turns out this one may actually be a collaboration. Because on the list I have, it lists two people who made it. Nikki and Thralny. Thralny being someone else who we've done their scenarios. He was the one who did HIM, as well as its sequel, and one other. The ones about... what was it? Ah, yes, the first one was about, effectively an AI, and the second one was effectively a zombie apocalypse with you slowly turning into one, thanks to being diseased from the first one. Now, we're moving on to this new scenario, made by these two people. Thralny was okay with what he did, he wasn't that bad, but he did work on building atmosphere, and Nikki, from what I've seen, she's very good at building atmosphere, so this could be incredibly atmospheric. El Presidente, I'm just a man. It came from the skies, it burst through the gates, with no mercy or disguise, with their hearts set out in flames. I know I've seen the master plan. Well, I'm just a man, I'm not giving in, all the people understand, for they all fell down and prayed. I know I've seen the master plan. They've killed the president, they've killed the president. It came from the skies, in all shades of green. We can always justify, we can measure up your dreams. I know I've seen the master plan. They've killed the president, 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 they've killed the president. I'm just a man. Tom York of Radiohead and Drugstore. There are two paths, one leading left, the other leading right. Which do you wish to travel down? Let's go down the right path. You travel down the right path. You are an apprentice mage, an outlaw, and a victim of circumstance. Before you were born, the Empire exiled your mother and father. They didn't end up in Avernum, though. They fled and hid in a forest close to their home, living with outcasts just like them. Since your birth, you've been forced to move from place to place, always trying to avoid the Empire. During the years on the run, you and your fellow castaways began to learn magic, growing stronger, greater in number, and increasingly bitter. Now things are changing. The Emperor has announced that he will finally rid the Empire of all bandits. Having no choice but to fight, your group began attacking a small city, hoping to seize it as a fortified base of operations in the upcoming war. You formulate a plan to kill the mayor of this town, New Haven, and his people, sending small sorties at first to lull them into a false sense of security. In just a few hours, you'll finally have a place to call home. There is an earth-shattering explosion as your homemade bomb hits the outer wall of New Haven. Within seconds, people begin fleeing the area, only to come face to face with your allies at the town's gates. Trapped, they begin fleeing in all directions. Your friend and leader, Stephen, looks over at you. Yes, it worked! Right, come here, quick! We don't have much time. You may want to rename and change the graphic of your PC in order to reflect your status and skills, although this is no way required of you. Also note that any save game entering this scenario is forfeit. Huh. I wonder what the left path is. Got a few spells. Okay then. You should speak to Stephen before you head off into town. It's likely he'll have a task for you to do. Stephen is waiting impatiently for you to speak to him. He shifts his weight from foot to foot and continually looks around for oncoming Empire troops. Hurry up! We don't have time to stand fucking about! You grin, as impossible as it sounds considering where you are. Stephen has long been your friend, and since he used to be an Empire soldier himself, knows exactly what to expect in the upcoming struggle. Hence, he's now in charge of your clan. Sorry, right, what's happening now? Stephen begins speaking in hurried tones. You won't believe this, the bastards aren't bothered, we've blocked off the main gates. Apparently there are escape tunnels that their people are using. Which is bad, by the way. Where do I fit into this problem? Well, since they're gonna be able to evacuate whether or not we control the gates, we need somebody to go and prevent people from getting down these blasted escape tunnels. We need to kill as many people as we can. Every person that escapes has the potential to get the Empire to send a whole platoon out here. That's where I come in, then? Well, you got it. Look, we don't have much time, but all you need to do is block the doors. Nothing fancy. No fighting, nothing. The thing is, they're made of metal, so you're not going to be able to just smash the hinges in. But, and you'll like this, your bolt of fire spell should melt the metal enough that it warps it into the stone surrounding it. That way they'll become jammed. Got it? Just one thing, you'll have to stand back from the doors when you do it. It's likely they'll get very hot. Uh-huh. And what are you going to do while I'm doing this? I've sent some people to smash the gate controls. If we cut off the tunnels, they'll eventually storm the gates. I'm gonna make sure there's nothing left for them to take back. By the time that's done, you'll have hopefully finished. Then I'll come find you and we go to the mayor together, right? He'll be a sitting duck with no way of escaping. Okay, any advice for me? Yes, there are a few things that might be useful to know. Firstly, there are 3 doors that need blocking. One is to the northwest, one is in the far southwest corner, and the last one is just in the north. Also, take whatever you can find to help you survive. All the better if you can pry it from a dead soldier's hand. Remember, this is kill or be killed. And one last thing. Don't be scared to kill anybody standing in your way. If you have pangs of conscience, remember that this is a war. Remember that if they could, they'd kill you. Now go! Stephen pats her back and mouths good luck to you as he runs off to the north. You're on your own for now. Alright then, I guess this is our task. There's a lot of fighting going on here. Wait, that's probably... Your bolt of fire causes the metal in the door to melt slightly. As it grows hotter, it expands into the stone around it, rendering the door impassable. You can move on to the next one now. Strange ways in. I mean, the others are elsewhere, but I'm going to look around. Storeroom. Military only. This storeroom has been all but emptied. There are just a few bits and pieces left on the tables. Presumably, the gear from here was equipped by the Imperial troops as soon as you attack New Haven. Unfortunately, that means there will be very little here that you'll be able to take and use. Hey, there's stuff I can take and use here. For example, these leather bracers. These boots. Oh wait, we already have boots. This locker is empty, this locker is empty, locker's empty. Okay, the wooden buckler I'll take, and this poor leather armor. The sign is an anvil and hammer painted on it. Bars of tin. I'm not going to take anything to loot, only to use. Bronze longsword. Not as good as the iron dagger, surprisingly. Locker's padlock shut. More bars. Oh, they're doing a very good job at the atmosphere, in a way. There's no need for me to go there. There's no need for me to go there. Town Hall. It's probably the last place we need to go to. The barracks. You enter the New Haven barracks with a hint of trepidation. Whilst most, if not all, of the soldiers stationed here will be out fighting, you're still entering their base, and probably the most secure place in New Haven. Fortunately, there aren't any soldiers here now, although that could change in an instant. These shelves contain various scrolls and sheets, each one filled with squiggles and gibberish. All you can read are the titles of each document, and even those are meaningless to you. Needless to say, you soon get frustrated with the documents and put them back. You have bigger fish to fry. Yeah, sure, grab the arrows. Why am I randomly blessed suddenly? Excuse me. You have no reason to go into Town Hall right now. Ow. Ooh. Healing potion. Very needed. Okay, that must be... Okay. That's 2 doors down. 1 more to go. cemetery. And somehow we actually leveled up. There goes that guy. Okay, there's the last one. We'll get it in a bit. There are pants painted on it. So this one's a tailor. Gloves! And a cloak. Useful. Still haven't found a bow, but still. Stella's Bakery. As you enter this small shop, you hear a muffled cry coming from your right. There's a youngish-looking woman hiding behind the counter here. As you walk inside, she draws her legs up to her chin and begins sobbing. Clearly, she's petrified of you. What is that? Your skill you feel stronger, your skill points have changed. Oh, I didn't realize we have skill points. Yeah, we're bandits, killing everyone in this place, but... I can't really pick down any doors, so... I'm not gonna try bashing him down. So these must be the houses of people. Locking them was a wise idea for now. Well in the center of town. Staunton's training. This shelf contains various books about fighting and adventuring. There are books on practically every subject imaginable. Since the width of knowledge here is so large, the depth is pretty small. There isn't anything here you didn't already know. You move on. The sign has a bow and arrow painted on it. This shelf contains various books on fletchery, including some detailing how to make arrows from everyday material, some explaining how to shoot while blindfolded, and even some on the best way to care for a tree before it is carved into a bow. Unfortunately, despite all this, there isn't anything that would be even remotely useful to you. You move on. Well, there's the bow we need. This one, New Haven Library. As you enter this building, you are greeted by the quasi-romantic smell of yellowing paper. Clearly, there are a lot of books inside, although all you can see are a few bookcases. There must be more books further inside. These shelves don't contain anything remotely interesting. Most of the books here are typical Empire-authorized trash. Needless to say, you don't spend any time reading the tomes, even if they did appeal to you. Now isn't the time to do so. You move on. Beneath this trapdoor are a series of steps leading down into the library proper. This must be where the rest of the books are kept. As you start down the steps, you hear a whimper coming from the shadows. Somebody's down here. Suddenly, a thought crosses your mind. If you were to toss a bolt of fire into this room, it would almost certainly strike a bookcase and cause a fire, killing everybody hiding down here. Do you want to do that? No, let them live. You walk away. There will be time to see to whoever is down there later. In the meantime, you place some heavy tomes on the trapdoor, preventing anybody there from getting out. All books must be checked out properly. We'll deal with them later, I guess. We may need hostages. Temple of Light. You enter New Haven's temple. The place is deserted. Everybody must have fled here already, and you can take a moment to look around. Everything here looks rather mundane, from the crude stone altar to the bare stone walls. Can't imagine it inspires people here in any way. This chest contains a small amount of coins. You assume that they are donations given to the church by the citizens of New Haven. Despite there only being a meager amount of coins at the bottom of the chest, you can still relieve the church then. Do you? Yes, take the coins. Not gonna bother with very well. It's no use. You step through the curtain and into the private room of the town's priest. It all looks fairly simple. There are two bookcases full of literature, an open tome set off to the side, and a bed placed against the far wall. What catches your eye, though, is the tome. The writing on it looks fresh. It'll only take a moment to read it. Silver coins. These shelves contain the private journals and books of the town's priest. You look them over and pull a few out. As you reach for a novel on the top shelf, however, you spot that the books there are actually fake. You pull them away and find a stash of gold. Clearly the priest didn't want anybody in town to find it. Presumably it was ill-gotten. Too bad he couldn't hide it from you. This tome looks like some kind of encyclopedia of medical spells. Whilst many of them are too complicated or too bizarre to be of any use to you, you should be able to find something inside that will heal you. Sure enough, you flick through the tome and find a simple restorative spell. However, there's a warning at the bottom. It can only be used once per day. Want to use it now? No, we don't need it now. It's good to know that it's there. New Haven Academy. Nothing in here of use, it looks like. Oh, I didn't even see that person. Hold on, it looks like there's a hidden spot here. Or perhaps not. Alright, let's get the last door. Alright. Suddenly you see Stephen running towards you, followed by several of your comrades. He slows to a halt and grins. We're done, and I can see that you are too. Good. He pauses to catch his breath. We need to head over to Town Hall straight away and deal with the mayor. We found out it's the Northwest. And we need to be quick. There's bound to be some Imperial bastards on our trail. I actually heard the captain here swear as she found the smashed gates, so she can't be that far behind us. Come on. He flies off to the northwest. Alright, I'll be right there. I just realized I missed the spot. Just looking over here. There. Alright. You reach the doors to Town Hall, which have been thrown wide open. Inside, you can see Stephen and your allies in a pitched battle with several Imperial soldiers. Stephen half turns and parries a blow from a soldier, calling out to you to help as he does. Combat is joined. Hey, we got hasted. I like that. Oh no, that's one of ours. Oh, there goes one of our guys. Oh, that's bad. As the leader of the troops here in New Haven Falls, you grow more confident, stronger, more assured. You will soon have victory over these Imperial bastards. Another healing potion. Unidentified plate mail, a leather helmet, steel longsword. Ooh, that's nice weaponry. Actually, I shouldn't wear that. I'm apparently a mage. Fine leather armor, though, I can take. That's actually better leather armor than me. You watch as Mayor Rourke falls. You have dealt the Imperial forces in New Haven a terrible blow, and secured your position here. Seeing your victory, the remaining soldiers turn and rush you, determined to expel you. You pause to catch your breath after dispatching the last of the mayor's bodyguards. Finally, you have succeeded. Your joy is short-lived, however. You hear the shouting of Empire troops marching this way. Any plan you had of holding this town are moot. All that matters now is staying alive. The Empire will double its efforts to bring you to justice. Enough reason to leave this place. Get back to the blasted walls. On it! You arrive at the walls. It seems the town guards were expecting you to come this way. Some of them have been waiting for your retreat. You quickly run out of town. When you're at a safe distance, you stop and turn around. You look at New Haven. It was a beautiful city, but it had a rotten mayor. You then silently walk on into the woods surrounding New Haven, pleased with yourself and the fortunate outcome of this attack. Your lives will be somewhat more difficult, but your parents are avenged. The end. Well, that was certainly interesting. The right path had us become bandits as we raided a town and attempted to take it as a fortress, but that failed and the Empire showed up and we weren't able to, well, keep it. Interesting how it went. That said, I am curious what the left path is. But we'll try that in the next episode. Till then, I'm Chester44, that is Fox. This has been a Blades of Avernum Let's Play, and I shall see you all next time.